To discuss, let's bring in Committee to Unleash Prosperity co-founder Steve Moore and American Majority CEO Ned Ryun. Gentlemen, great to see you. Steve, is Mamdani, is he just arrogant enough to think that he can make policies work that Castro and Stalin couldn't? And he's trying to sell them to people he knows to be morons.
Well, you know, Dagan, I come from the city of Chicago, and Chicago has tried this very similar experience over the last few years with a pretty socialist new mayor, and the city has gone to hell. And so every time you try to move a city to the left where you don't fight crime, you raise taxes, you let the schools go to hell, you have homeless people everywhere, people leave. And the real shame here is that if he is elected, I estimate that Wall Street will be lost. In other words, the city that has been the financial center of the world for the last 200 years will no longer be housed in New York. And by the way, it's been moving out. But how is this all going to be financed? Oh, we're just going to raise taxes on the top 1%. They're not going to be there anymore. So then where are we going to get the money?
Ned, let me ask you about these grocery stores specifically, because the one in Kansas City, in Missouri rather, failed. And it failed pretty abruptly. They had no visitors there, essentially. And we had a reporter go, there were no groceries on the shelves. There was no choice. People don't realize what they're getting into when they open up this kind of Pandora's box, because this is a really competitive business. It's run on very tight margins. And in the capitalist system, competition is what keeps it alive, and acumen of, you know, smart executives that run these companies. The government cannot get in the grocery business.
You're correct. I mean, I think it's what, 1%, 2%, 3% maybe profit margins for grocery stores. And you've got to be pretty sophisticated to keep those things going. Obviously, this is not a solution. I think one of the real problems is, you mentioned this in the opening, these millennials that are part of Mamdani's policy circle. They've come through these indoctrination centers and been told how glorious and how great Marxism and socialism are, and now they're coming into the real world and trying to promote those ideas. I think the only way we're going to successfully solve this is when people get fully exposed to the consequences of their terrible decisions and fully experience it for themselves. Because I think many times in life we do not fully experience the consequences of our decisions. And I think it's probably time that they experience it and learn the hard way. And once you learn the hard way, you usually make better decisions in the future. Yeah,
I'm experiencing the consequences of my decisions out in the Garden State, which is like a veritable Reagan-era paradise compared to what New York City might become. But Ned, stay on this. What happens here isn't happening in the rest of the country, and there are plenty of options. GE Appliances is planning to spend $3 billion in U.S. investments to help blunt the tariffs. So, in essence, you don't want to pay the tariff, you onshore production.
Everybody that was losing their minds back in April that Trump didn't know what he was doing with the tariffs and all the Chicken Little and pearl clutching that took place. Trump knows exactly what he's doing. He wants to onshore more business to not only help more Americans get employed and to help our economy, but to strengthen communities, to strengthen families. I mean, just all the repercussions of what he's doing in building out our communities and our economy, it's glorious to watch. But it took someone with Trump's courage to withstand that storm and doubt to be able to pull this off. And I think we're going to continue seeing real positive benefits from those decisions he made in April.
And Steve, I just want to highlight some of the states that they're expanding in: Kentucky, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, South Carolina. This is how you bring manufacturing home. President Biden said he was going to give us manufacturing jobs. He never did. This is one strategy. I mean, the tariffs, listen, we can either collect them as revenue, or you can get companies to onshore the manufacturing here, bring those jobs home, and strengthen that sector. This is really important to the American people.
So it's amazing, that list of states that you just mentioned, and I can't really tick them all off. But the point is, I think every one of those states that you just mentioned, Jackie, is in the South. And so what's happened over the course of the last 30 or 40 years is America has not lost manufacturing jobs. The Northeast and the Midwest have, because of policies like forced unionization policies. Where are all these new investments going? They're going to states that have right-to-work laws, where every worker has the right to decide whether they want to be in a union or not. They are also states, by the way, Jackie, what else they have in common? They have very low taxes. In fact, some of those states have no income tax at all. What's really tragic about what's going on in New York is just the last 10 years, New York has lost a net 2 million people to other states. That's going to turn into a stampede of people out of that city and state if these continued socialistic policies are implemented. I mean, look, I pray it doesn't happen. Yes, Ned is right that sometimes they have to learn the lesson. But boy, is this going to learn the lesson the hard way. It's going to do the entire nation great damage if our empire city crumbles because of crazy left-wing ideas.
Before we go, Steve Moore, our national debt has hit $37 trillion and climbing.
Yeah.
Interest on the debt last month was $92 billion. It's running at $101 billion. So the end of debt held by the public as a share.
By the way, that's per month, right? That $100 billion is per month.
$101 billion is the monthly average. Yes. So
monthly.
We're north
That's
of
amazing.
$1 trillion so far
Yeah.
this fiscal year. Take a look at this chart. This is federal debt held by the public, which Larry Kudlow was talking about earlier today, as a percentage of GDP. Can we put this chart up? Take a look at that. We ain't growing our way out of that, buddy. We're not growing our way out of it. We also have to cut. Steve Moore,
Yes.
How do you see it?
Well, we are going to. The only way out of this is to grow our way out of it. We have to grow. We have to get to 3 to 4% growth. And by the way, Trump has put us on that path. If you do that, you start bending the curve downward. But of course, on top of that, you have to start making substantial changes to our budget. We have $500 billion a year the government's own auditors say have gone to just fraudulent payments. How hard is it just make sure that only people who are eligible for the programs get it? Oh, yeah, the Democrats were against that. They wanted Medicaid to go to people who aren't even eligible for
Steve Moore, Ned Ryan, thank you.
Thanks, guys.